Mahabharata, Chapter 36, The Battle at Midnight, read by Nirvan Bajaj and Ekveer Bajaj. Mahabharata, Chapter 36, The Battle at Midnight. Veshwapan then continued. After fulfilling his vow to kill Jayadratha before sundown, Arjun began to attack the Kaurav forces with renewed vigor. Infuriated by the killing of Jayadratha, Kripacharya and Ashwadhama attacked Arjun. Reluctant to attack his own guru, Arjun used the mildest of arrows. But so numerous were they that they rendered Kripacharya unconscious. Arjun thought that Kripacharya was dead. He was smitten with guilt and said, "Woe betide me! I have killed my own guru." Karna seized the opportunity to attack the repentant Arjun. Satyaki and other warriors rushed to confront him. Krishna, however, prevented Arjun from fighting with Karna. He said, "No, Arjun. Karna is armed with the celestial weapon from Indra. Do not confront him now. Let Satyaki deal with him." To help Satyaki, Krishna summoned his own chariot. A fearful battle ensued between Satyaki and Karna. With sharp arrows, Satyaki inflicted severe injuries on Karna and felled his chariot. Then he remembered Arjun's vow to kill Karna. He therefore spared Karna's life. As the sun began to set, Krishna and Arjun proceeded to meet Yudhishthir. Krishna told, "Arjun has fulfilled his vow. Jayadratha is dead." And Yudhishthir said, "Your words fill my heart with joy. It is you who made it possible for Arjun to fulfill his vow, O Lord of the universe." Krishna replied, "No, Yudhishthir. Your austerities and righteous conduct and Arjun's skill as a matchless warrior are responsible for this victory." Meanwhile, Jayadratha's death had broken Duryodhana's spirit, and he thought to himself, "I am now convinced that none can equal Arjun's prowess." He then went to Drona and asked him, "How many kings have given up their lives for me? Even the invincible Bhishma is lying supine in the battlefield. 7 divisions of our army are destroyed." Drona replied, "I have always told you that Arjun is invincible. He could kill Jayadratha in spite of so many of the striving hard to protect him. Yet, I assure you, you will not find me wanting in my efforts till I kill all the Pandavas. I will not take off my armor. I will penetrate the enemy forces. Meanwhile, protect your men, for today the battle may continue into the night." As they walked towards the battlefield, Duryodhana confided in Karna. He said, "Drona had promised to protect Jayadratha, but he allowed Arjun to go past him. After all, Arjun has always been his favorite pupil." Karna replied, "That is not fair. The Acharya did try his best, but Arjun managed to get past him. I feel Dronacharya is not to be blamed. Come, let us not try to oppose destiny, but let us do our best in battle." While talking, they saw the armies on the battlefield. Because of the fading light, they could not see clearly the thousands of arrows discharged by the warriors. Ignoring the protests of Karna, Kripa and Drona, Duryodhana made his way through the Pandav forces. As the morning sun dispels the darkness, Duryodhana destroyed many Pandav soldiers. Just then, Yudhishthir charged towards him, and the two were locked in combat. With his powerful arrows, Duryodhana inflicted injuries on Yudhishthir, his chariot, and all the 4 horses. Duryodhana was also seriously injured by Yudhishthir's barrage of arrows, and he sat down in his chariot. Soon the duel turned into a general fight. As the mighty warriors like Nakul, Sahadev and Virat attacked Drona with their armies, the night turned dark and ominous enough to put fear in the hearts of the bravest of warriors. The silence of the night was broken by the piercing sound from bugles, the trumpeting of elephants, the neighing of horses, and the howling of jackals. Bhima went about attacking the Dhritarashtra's sons with slaps and blows using his bare hands. Meanwhile, Somadat attacked Satyaki to avenge the death of his son, Bhurishrava. He said to Satyaki, "How could you attack my son when he was unarmed?" And Satyaki said, "So what? And now I will kill you too." Somadatta fainted as a result of Satyaki's attack and had to be carried away. Seeing this, an enraged Drona rushed towards Satyaki. So furious was he that anyone who came in his way was instantly killed. Arjun then said to Krishna, "Please drive me towards Drona." Bhima too followed. Just then Ghatotkach, Bhima's son, appeared on the scene. He was accompanied by his army of Rakshasas. His roar made even the elephants tremble with fear. His very sight frightened the enemy forces. His army started raining boulders on the Kauravas. "Flee! The Rakshasas have become more powerful at night." Ghatotkach with his magical powers created an awesome illusion. While others fled in fear, Ashwadhama was alone, undaunted. And he destroyed the illusion. The enraged Ghatotkach, smitten by the arrows of Ashwadhama, took up a chakra and hurled it at Ashwadhama. With his well-aimed arrows, Ashwadhama nimbly cast it asunder. Ghatotkach's son now joined the fight, also using magic. But he soon succumbed to Ashwadhama's arrows. Ghatotkach was furious. He said, "Ashwadhama, just wait! You cannot escape today. Oh, go and fight with someone else. Do not irritate me or else." Ghatotkach tried various tricks and created illusion after illusion to scare Ashwadhama. A calm and collected Ashwadhama assured the worried Duryodhana, "Leave this to me, O king. Go and reassure your soldiers." With an arrow that resembled the mace of Yama, Ashwadhama wounded Ghatotkach, who fell to the ground. Many kings in the Pandav army felt that Ghatotkach had been killed and lost the will to fight. Bhima then attacked the Kaurav army with renewed vigor. Then 10 of the Dhrashtra's sons attacked Bhima, but he killed all of them. Meanwhile, Drona rained various celestial weapons on Yudhishthira, including the Brahmastra, a weapon invoking the power of Brahma. But his efforts were futile since Yudhishthira matched his weapon for weapon and fended off his attack. Drona now turned away and attacked Draupadi's army, only to find Arjun and Bhima confronting him. Kaurav soldiers, enfeebled by lack of sleep and terrified by the dark night, ran amok under Arjun's onslaught. Addressing Karna, Duryodhana said, "Karna, my friend, the time has come for you to prove your friendship. Come to the rescue of my men." And Karna replied, "Rest assured, I swear I will kill the Pandavas and Panchals and lay the earth at your feet to rule over." Kripacharya intervened with a mocking smile. If words were enough, then indeed you are the man Duryodhana needs now. You may brag about your prowess till you face Arjun's arrows. Just as Brahmins are renowned for their sermons, Kshatriyas for their valor, your prowess is in building castles in the air. And Karna replied, "You will see me kill Arjun with the help of Shakti, with the help of the Shakti given by Indra." When Kripacharya continued his taunts, Karna flared up. "One more word from you and I will cut your tongue." Enraged by Karna's verbal duel with his uncle Kripa, Ashwadhama rushed up towards Karna with his drawn sword raised up. But Duryodhana said, "Shed this anger. We have a great task before us." And Kripa replied, "We will forgive Karna now, but soon Arjun will shatter his ego." As soon as Karna took up arms, the Pandav army attacked him with fury. "Kill Karna! Destroy this foolish man!" But Karna at his best was terror incarnate. Seeing Karna's prowess, Duryodhana told Ashwadhama, "Great is Karna's valor. Look, Arjun is moving towards him now. See that Karna is protected from him." Karna and Arjun were soon engaged in a well-matched battle, till Arjun cut off Karna's bowstring, killed his chariot and all 4 horses. Karna then ran towards the chariot of Kripa. The Kaurav army ran helter-skelter in fear of Arjun. Duryodhana said, "Do not run away, my brave men. I will kill Arjun." Kripa confided in Ashwadhama. In his rage, Duryodhana wants to confront Arjun. Stop him before he gets killed. Ashwadhama at once went to Duryodhana and said, "Do not insult me by rushing to fight Arjun when I am alive. Leave that to me." But Duryodhana replied, but both you and your father are besotted with your love for the Pandavas. Else you would have routed with their army with ease. Ashwadhama realized that Duryodhana was speaking in anger, and he said, "Of course we do love the Pandavas, but in the battlefield we fight with them with all our might. Just watch my prowess today." True to his word, Ashwadhama challenged the enemy forces, and he said, "Come, rain your arrows on me." Seeing the Pandav soldiers fleeing under Ashwadhama's attack, Drishtadyumna challenged him. He said, "Come fight with me if you are a true warrior." And Ashwadhama said, "Stand still for just 2 minutes and I will send you to the abode of Yama." The duel of the words between Ashwadhama and Drishtadyumna was as fierce as the one with arrows. Ashwadhama managed to destroy Drishtadyumna's umbrella, rear attendants and charioteer, and all the 4 horses. "Ashwadhama has defeated Drishtadyumna," thought all the soldiers. Meanwhile, Satyaki said to his charioteer, "Take me to Somnath. I swear I will kill him today." True to his word, Satyaki did say Somnath after a long fight. When the call of warriors converged on Satyaki, Yudhishthira rushed to his help and launched a furious attack on Drona. Deeply wounded, Drona sat down in his chariot. On recovering, Drona sent a Vayu Astra which Yudhishthira repelled bravely. Seeing this, Krishna cautioned, "Drona is bent on capturing you. Avoid him. A king should only fight with a king." And Yudhishthira thought to himself, "Krishna is right. Let me go and help Bhima in his attack." All this while, the battle was being waged in the dead of night, aided by guesswork and the calling out of names. Duryodhana commanded the soldiers on foot, "Put down your weapons. I command all of you to carry torches." The Pandava soldiers did likewise, and soon the whole battlefield was lit up. Mindful of Drona's intent to fight with all his men, Duryodhana exhorted his kinsmen. He said, "Protect Dronacharya on all sides. Kritavarma, you flank his right side. Shalya, you be on his left. No one but Drishtadyumna can confront Drona. Your duty is now to protect Drona from him." In the battle that ensued, several duels were fought. Ashwadhama ably averted Ghatotkach's advances. Bhima defeated Duryodhana. Karna and Sahadev met in a duel. Sahadev jumped down from his chariot and picked up the wheel of the chariot and had to fling at Karna. And Karna said, "Dear child, do not try the impossible way to fight. Why to fight your superiors?" Karna shattered the wheel with his arrows, but spared Sahadev's life. Lightly touching him with the tip of his bow, he said, "Go and join your brother Arjun, and if you wish to return to your home." Meanwhile, Virat was defeated by Shalya and Shikhandi, was vanquished by Kripa. However, Nakul scorched this victory over Shakuni. The battle that raged between Karna and Satyaki was a terrible one. Karna's fury was creating havoc among the Pandav forces. Arjun said, "O Krishna, take me towards Karna. I must kill him or be killed today." Aware of the mighty Shakti in Karna's possession, Krishna demurred. "Besides you, Ghatotkach alone is capable of facing Karna. Let him do so while you protect Yudhishthira." They summoned Ghatotkach and Krishna told him, "Fight Karna with all your astras and kill him. We are depending on you." Arjun said, "Satyaki will be with you together. You can work wonders." And Ghatotkach replied, "I will go at once. Such a battle will I wage today that it will be remembered forever." In the midst of that dreadful night, Karna and Ghatotkach faced each other. Just as Duryodhana was about to send Dushasan to Karna's aid, Alambusha approached him.
"My father Jatasura, the leader of the Rakshasas, was killed by the Pandavas. Give me a chance to avenge his death. Let me fight the Pandavas."
Duryodhana was glad to oblige. "You are welcome. Go and fight Ghatotkach." The two Rakshasas fought with various weapons and finally with bare hands. Suddenly, Ghatotkacha jumped and swooped down with a sword. With a dreadful cry, Ghatotkacha cut off his opponent's head. Approaching Duryodhan, he threw Alambusha's head towards him and said, "It is said one should not visit a king without a gift. Wait a while and I will bring you a head which is more dear to you. Karnas." So fierce was the battle between Karna and Ghatotkacha that it made mighty warriors tremble. Ghatotkacha was in the sky in a minute, and on the ground the next he appeared to be everywhere at once. Only the mighty Karna could confront him. Although Karna ably confronted him, Ghatotkacha's onslaught terrified the Kauravas.
"Protect us, O Karna! Use your Shakti! Kill Ghatotkacha!"
Karna was now in a dilemma. He thought to himself, "I must kill him now. I had reserved the Shakti for killing Arjun, but I must somehow save our army." Reluctantly, Karna took up the Shakti in his right hand and hurled it at Ghatotkacha. Like a shaft of lightning, it sped towards him. Ghatotkacha knew his end was near. As a last device, he expanded his body with magical powers. So when the Shakti pierced and felled him, a vast number of Kaura soldiers was crushed under his weight. Bhima and other Pandavas were shocked at his death. Krishna consoled them and said to Arjun, "Karna has used his Shakti once and it has returned to Indra. Oh, how I had worried about using it against you. Now bereft of the Shakti, Karna is like a fangless serpent. I am happy because you have been rescued from the jaws of death." And when Satyaki asked why Karna had not used his Shakti against Arjun all these days, Krishna replied, "Every day Karna would plan to isolate Arjun in a duel and kill him with the Shakti. But I so maneuvered Arjun's chariot that they did not confront each other. I also clouded Karna's mind a little to make him forget about his most powerful weapon." Yudhishthira lamented over Ghatotkacha's death and recalled how he had helped them in various days. He kept them company while Arjun was away. He was with them in the mountain Himavan, and he carried Draupadi when she could not walk. And at last Yudhishthira said, "I loved him as dearly as I loved Sahadev, yet he was killed in our very presence." Yudhishthira was about to attack Karna when Vyasa appeared and consoled him, saying that Ghatotkacha's death had been ordained. He was also assured him of victory in 5 days. It was well past midnight. The soldiers of both armies were weary. Raising his voice, Arjun announced, "Everyone is tired and exhausted. The darkness is dense. If you Kauravas agree, I suggest we all rest in the battlefield a while." And some of the Kaurav army said,
"We agree. We will resume fighting later."
As Arjun's suggestion was unanimously accepted, the soldiers gratefully lay down to sleep. And they thought,
"Only Arjun could be so thoughtful. Bless him."
The battlefield, which had resounded with war cries, was now enveloped in silence. The huge armies lay still like a painting drawn by a gifted artist. Till the moon came up, one by one the men began to stir. The battle was resumed in the bright light of the moon. Duryodhan said to Drona, "With your renowned prowess and celestial weapons, you could easily defeat the Pandavas. But alas, you continue to favor them." The oft-repeated sarcasm and accusation were beginning to irritate Drona, and he said, "So far I have fought with fair and just means and refrained from using divine weapons on ordinary soldiers. Now if you so wish, I will use unfair means as well to fight. But believe me when I say Arjun is invincible." Duryodhan was touched to the quick by the praise of his arch-enemy. He said, "We will now divide the army into two. With one half I will attack your favorite Arjun." And Drona said, "I wish you well. You have lived a full life. Go and do your duty now. Go fight Arjun." Half of the army with Duryodhan, Dushasana, Shakuni and Karna set out to confront Arjun, but they were routed in no time. Drona led the rest of the army and killed 3 grandsons of Draupad. With 2 sharp javelins he killed Virat and Draupad. Drishtadyumna was stunned with grief. He said, "This man has killed my father as well as my sons. I will not leave him today." Swearing revenge, Drishtadyumna attacked Drona and the Kauravas. Duryodhana came to help Drona with the rest of the army. Try as he might, Drishtadyumna could not reach Drona. Bhima taunted him. Drona has killed your father and son. You have sworn to kill him. How can you see him alive? And penetrating the Kaurav army, engaged in a fierce battle with Karna. Meanwhile, the sun rose in the east. The warriors are fought with renewed vigor. Karna was engaged in a combat by Arjun. But the spectacular sight was the confrontation between Drona and Arjun. After a prolonged fight with earthly and celestial weapons, Drona sent the Brahmastra towards Arjun, who countered it with the same astra. Now Drona turned away from Arjun and fought the Panchal army. Duryodhana and Satyaki were engaged in a strange encounter. While they rained arrows at each other, they recalled with nostalgia their earlier days. Meanwhile, Drona was fighting as if possessed by a demon. The partners watched aghast.
He does not look like a human.
The panic among the soldiers set Krishna thinking. He thought to himself, Drona is using unfair means. He is even using divine weapons against ordinary soldiers. He said to Yudhishthira, if Drona keeps fighting thus, you will have no army left. We will have to make him lay down his weapons. And Arjun thought, yes, but how? Krishna thoughtfully said, I am sure if he hears that his son Ashwadhama is no more, he will stop fighting. Arjun did not approve of this suggestion. Yudhishthira agreed after much persuasion. Meanwhile, Bhima killed an elephant called Ashwadhama. Going near Drona, he announced, Ashwadhama is dead. Drona almost fainted with shock, but soon recovered and thought to himself, no, it cannot be. No one can kill my Ashwadhama. Drona resumed fighting with all weapons at his disposal, slaughtering the Pandav forces. Seeing his unfair and inhuman approach, the rishis from heaven, led by Agni, came to meet Drona and said, this unrighteousness does not become you. Lay down your arms and prepare for the end. Deeply moved by their counsel and Bhima's earlier announcement, Drona looked at Yudhishthira and said, is it true that my son is dead? Yudhishthira had never spoken an untruth in his life, but Krishna had anticipated the situation and told him, you may have to lie today to save your army, but this sin will not cling to you. So now he replied, Ashwadhama is dead. Adding in an inaudible whisper, Ashwadhama the elephant. As soon as the lie was uttered, Yudhishthira's chariot touched the ground. Hearing the news from Yudhishthira, Drona fainted. Drishtadyumna rushed towards him. When Drona gained consciousness, he could not gain his earlier strength. Yet he killed Drishtadyumna's horses. Now Drona shot special short-range arrows at Drishtadyumna. Satyaki intervened in time with a volley of arrows to defend Drishtadyumna. Bhima confronted Drona and said sarcastically, you teach dharma to others, yet you abandon your own duty as a Brahman. Even with your son dead, you continue to fight. Throwing his weapons away, Drona exclaimed, O Karna, O Kripa, Duryodhana, fight with all your might. I hereby lay down my arms. He sat down in his chariot in a pose of meditation. Drishtadyumna took advantage of him and thus pounced on him, sword in hand. Meanwhile, Yudhishthira tried to scream, capture him, do not kill him. And thus, on that fateful day, even as Yudhishthira protested, Drishtadyumna killed Drona as he had vowed to do so. And thus ends the 36th session of our endearing of Vaishambhan's recital of Vyasa's immortal Ityasa, the Mahabharata. Stay tuned for Mahabharata chapter 37, and it is called Karna in Command. Please subscribe to this channel, like, share and comment on this video. Thank you.